Okay, so today I'll show you guys how I do my beef ribs. You may have heard of these being called dinosaur ribs. They're just a big rack of beef ribs. So this video is just the first of many for today. So make sure you stay tuned, watch the channel. Some more should be coming up. Of course, the first thing I'm going to do is trim some of this fat off. Now there's just, you want to leave a little bit on, but this is just entirely too much fat. Entirely too much. There we go. That came right off. So I'm going to trim this up. That is step one in this video. You'll see you got to have a sharp knife. My knife sharpener right over here. So if things start to get a little dull, then I can always lay that big chunk. See that big piece right there has got to come out. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to trim it all up. What I'm trying to do is not take off as much meat as I can, like that big hunk of meat. Ugh, I hate that that even came off. So, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you can always lift it up and look if you think you're cutting too deep. There's a lot of fat on these things. And that's okay to some extent. Fat is flavor, but too much fat just gets gross. So, trim it up some more here, and I will finish this part of the video once I have it trimmed up. Again, it's just a sharp knife. Go there. Most of you guys that are barbecuing, you've probably done briskets and all that, so you know what I'm doing here. But for those of you that don't know, I'm just going, see right here, I just barely started to get into it, into the meat. So at that point, I want to pull up, and you can kind of feel it when you hit that. There's a lot of silver skin right there too. I might want to get up underneath that if I can and get that off of there as well. Look, that one went a little deep. I'm trying to get underneath that silver skin. See, no, that's not too bad. That's just a little bit of meat off of there. I kind of did a boo-boo there by pulling the knife with my hand down. You never want to do that. I caught it, corrected myself right away. So, we'll get this bad boy trimmed up. I'm going to show you a 3-hour smoke of this thing that'll have you with some amazing dinosaur ribs within just a couple, can't get that way, just a couple hours. I am out of the way of the knife. I know you can't completely see it, but I am out of the way in case it decides to slip. Last thing I want to do is trim the fat off of me, right? You want to leave, like I said, you want to leave some fat on, but not too much. Alright, so I'm going to end this video, well, not end it, but I'm going to stop this video right now, and then we'll start it when it's done, and then I'll show you the seasoning process next. Alright, so I've got it trimmed up. Most of the silver skin is off, not all, but most. I know that doesn't look like a very thick piece of meat, but when this thing is cooked, it's going to be thick. You'll see. It's going to come out real nice and thick. So what I like to do for my seasoning, it is beef, so I'm going to use the old Texas style, is salt and pepper, right? But I'm going to go ahead and throw some garlic on there too, but just very light. I don't need a lot of garlic. The smoke is going to take care of most of that flavor. So there, boom, pepper. Now I do use a kosher salt because it tends to penetrate a little bit better. This one hasn't been opened yet. I just bought a new one yesterday thinking this one was almost gone, and it hasn't even been opened yet. Well, now I've got plenty of kosher salt. Kosher salt tends to penetrate the meat a little bit better. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for it. Something that they do to iodized salt. Maybe that's the difference. I don't know. But you're going to salt, as you can see, pretty much a living crap out of it, right? Because this is going to be a big, thick piece of meat when it gets done. That's what she said. And then now we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to cover it in pepper. If you want, you could always measure out. Would it be a half a cup and a half a cup to go 50-50? Maybe. But I'm not going to worry about measuring. I'm just going to put it on there until it looks good. All right? Now, big question a lot of people always ask is, do you do the back? Yes. I do every side of this piece of meat. Now, as you can see, I did not strip the back. It's really not a need for that, because when these things are done, it's going to fall. That's going to peel right off. I mean, just peel right off. Oh, I forgot to put a little bit of garlic. There we go. It's going to peel very easily. So again, I'm doing it the hard way. We'll use this lid to kind of help me sprinkle it out evenly. And there we go. So I'm going to do this to all the sides. Because after all, we eat all the sides, right? Got my garlic again. I got to quit doing that. Get a little bit too much. If you get a little bit too much in one place, just pat it around. It'll spread. It'll spread like the hurts. All right. Good. All right. You can always do the same thing on all four sides, or you can do like I'm doing right now. I've got a lot of extra here. Go ahead and do this. So for my next video, we'll be placing it on the fire and everything I do with that as well. So pay attention. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can see the rest of these videos when they pop up.